You're back. This is BuzzChomp, home of fitness and entertainment. We're talking Lovecraft Country, all the WTF moments for this really creepy and weird episode 6. I'm Mandi. Share with me at the end what you thought was so weird about this episode. This is the first episode of Lovecraft Country that wasn't based on a horror genre. Meet Me in Daegu, which is a play on Meet Me in St. Louis. Jiha, who we've been teased this first 5 episodes, and was featured as starring in this show, and we've only seen bits and pieces of her until we got this huge episode, and now we know why. She loves Meet Me in St. Louis and Judy Garland, and they turned that style film into a creepy horror gross creature type thing, and it was crazy. And that was just like the first WTF moment. Here is how we're introduced to Jiha with her and the musical. Jiha is a Kumiho. So we find this out very quickly when she kills that guy from Heroes, and like explodes his body while they're having sex, and all these things come out, and it's like a fox. I did not get that it was a fox. Yes, I had to look that up to find out that this is a fox creature. I thought it was some sort of like octopus from the finally explaining the poster, even though the poster was his dream. So she is a demon creature that her mother summoned because she was being raped by her stepfather, and now she has to kill 100 or take 100 men's souls by having sex with them, and then the demon can be released, and the mother is hoping that Jiha will come back to her. So that was another WTF moment there. This whole episode, wow. After last week of strange cases, I really didn't think it could get any weirder and creepier and be like, ooh, what is going on here? What is going on here? This was like another episode where we didn't really, we see Tick, really, but we don't see anyone else. I was okay with that. I really like seeing the story progressing of them and the sons of Adam and all that, but this gave us more insight into Tick and what he's not sharing with everyone. I'm sorry, you have this crazy experience in the Korea by this woman who's like some sort of monster, and you go home and you don't ever speak of it again. That's like another WTF moment there. Now knowing everything that Tick's going through, I guess that's why he hasn't questioned much things, but honestly, he should be questioning things even more. Not as big of a WTF moment, but of course, we see that, like, Tick is not doing cool things in the Korean War. Of course, it's war. Like, with the whole thing of Jiha's friend and her being a communist sympathizer and them shooting that woman next to Jiha. So cut off. He just did it. After knowing him these, 5 episodes, I would expect some compassion, but nothing. Nope, just, wow. He just shut himself off and did it. And he was going to do it to Jiha, too. And then we see in the ending of that flashback that he was there when they tortured Jiha's friend. Tear, sad, even though she was a communist sympathizer. That is like a big WTF moment of just how we see, like, we've seen such a nice Tick, but then we see this bad, evil Tick. And then Jiha and Tick's relationship. Of course, they're going to fall in love. Of course, we know that because we've already seen her 3 times throughout the first 5 episodes. In the pilot, with his dream Mars fantasy, she is there. When they're at the mansion, and last episode, when he calls her and we hear her say, I told you not to go back. I know it's all leading up. I've been wondering where she is and what her role is in this show. She deflowered Tick. WTF. And then the ending. Of course, Tick has to see that she's this creature, and she's trying so hard for her fox limbs or whatever, those eye things that come out of her eyes not to come out, and then they do. But it's different than the other 99 men. The other 99 men, she sees their memories, right? She sees the things that they've done. And she does, because like we said, we saw the thing that he did to Jiha's friend. But then she starts to see the future, and she starts to see how he's going to die and things happen. So she sees that he was with another woman in Florida. She sees Letty, and then she sees him like chained up and all weird in some sort of contraption at the end. And then he freaks out, and she tells him not to leave, not to go back home. But he does it anyway. Man. But I'm thinking, now that we've been introduced to Jiha, that she's coming to Chicago, She's coming to Chicago. She's going to be a force. She's going to be in the rest of these episodes. I mean, she was introduced. And now I'm curious here is, are we leading up to this premonition, to this death that we saw? Because at the end, post the whole sex thing, we see Jiha and her mother go to the woman that put this spirit in her. And she said, this is just the beginning. You haven't even tapped into your dark side. So Jiha is not going to be released. I'm debating, is Tick really going to die at the end of this adventure? I hope not. That would stink. But I'm not sure the show and this adventure is going to be cleared up by the end of this season, after now seeing that they introduced one of their main characters in the 6th episode of the show. That's a WTF moment in its own. I'm Mandi. Subscribe to BuzzChomp for more of our Lovecraft Country and share with me what blew your mind about this episode. Yeah, kids. Yeah.